What was interesting, a lot of people are asking me to sing also. I'll sing a couple of lines, but it's important for me to also add to what Sheldon is saying, that uh, when we sing a classical composition like Asthai Antara, it's very fixed. Now when it's Mekaal's music and when we are doing the music together, there are bars where you need to set your improvisations for all of you to again come back to where you will take off. So that's some work that a lot of, as a classical artist, you bandha hua, people usually are not used to sing like that. So this is something that I had to note, कि वो दो बार के अंदर आप वो, like in किनारे, there was a little thing that I did, which I later on I sang it so many times that I almost remember it. Ah, 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 something like that. And then we go to
Right. There's an eight part solo.
That part. दाता खड़े हूँ दुआरे 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 तुरे कश्ती बांधो मौजाए बहरे उल्फत में खिजर किनारे 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 दरिया कश्ती बांधो. I'd also like to mention something that Papu Sahab used to tell me. I mean, I have bugged him so much कि मुझे बताइए वो बताइए ये कैसे ये, and he always told me to वो जो मींड वाली जो singing है वो लाइए, उस वैसे आप करें. And I used to constantly then put up videos on Facebook learning one of the folk songs, or regularly मैं post करती थी, और and actually it was a learning process for me, because he would tell me ऐसे उसको करें आप, ऐसा उसको, and he would sing and
मेरे साथ भी यही है. सारे सोलोज जो है वो, इनके जो सोलोज हैं वो मुझे सीखने पड़ते हैं, मुझे बहुत मुश्किल फील होते हैं. एक बार कर लूं तो फिर ठीक हो जाता है, बट मुश्किल होता है उसकी फ्रेजिंग फिगर आउट करना मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि वो चीज ही एक और इंस्ट्रूमेंट ने बजाई हुई है. तो वही बैक टू व्हाट शेल्डन वाज सेइंग के के अरेंजमेंट एंड इट शुड साउंड लाइक वन पार्ट, वो उसमें पप्पू साहब का बहुत बड़ा हाथ है. बिकॉज अगर मेलोडिकली मैं उसको जरा गिटार और कर दूंगा, then it will start sounding like a prog rock band. Right. Have the same kinds of language on top. लेकिन वो solos भी जब आते हैं तो हम कोशिश करते हैं कि वो पप्पू साहब कंपोज करते हैं, because he जो मैं क्लासिकल आर्टिस्ट तो नहीं हूँ, तो सीखने को बहुत बहुत कुछ एवरी टाइम मिलता है. जब भी बैठता हूँ सीखता हूँ इनसे. तो बहुत मेन चीज, one of the reasons कि the band sounds so unique is because एक तो इंस्ट्रूमेंट ही यूनिक है. फ्लूट, कितने बैंड्स में फ्लूट है? I don't know many. Jethro Tull, it's one band.
Yeah, but not the way you've done it. Like, I mean, to have guitar and flute work at a perfect level like that.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
It's tough.
It's hard for me to do that shit.
And another thing I would like to acknowledge. Another thing that I would like to acknowledge is anything, all the Punjabi compliments that I sing should go to Papu Sahab, because he is the one to tell me इसको ये ऐसे ये नहीं है. उसका ये ऐसे ऐसे करें. Because the thing is this, when I came to Bombay and I started singing, a lot of people, I mean, in the industry were very hesitant taking me as a Bengali girl, because देखिए उनका तो pronunciation गोल गोल होगा, तो Hindi, you never know. And straight on to, I got an opportunity to sing in MHB, which had Thet Punjabi. And that Thet Punjabi, I mean, thanks to Papu Saab, each and every time, there were so many sessions. I'm telling you that this has been such an amazing platform for me to personally. I've gained a lot in
Yeah, I
terms of
think it's
it's
just a
been,
matter of time, like Sheldon says, before we'll
yeah,
all manage to play.
yeah. And
Sheldon,
I
you have to start
really
singing.
hope
You can
we
learn the
play.
songs again.
Again, we have to sit and figure out all the songs, and now please this time
We'll
bring
come
down
back.
all the keys when we
और
play
नीचे
together
कर देना.
again. है ना?
Just
माही and all. I was listening to Mahi का तो बिल्कुल करना है. नीचे आपको लाना है. And now, I started basics learning guitar, and now I have an idea of what open string
Are
is
you
and
trying
all
to
of
replace
that.
Mekaal?
So now I know
you
that
should.
that's,
You should.
why
You'll
you
probably do
guys.
better, man.
Huh?
You'll probably do better if you just pick up the guitar and just learn the songs on guitar as well.
Yeah, because Mekaal has been fired from his own band.
You can just be Sharmistha Chatterjee band. SCB.
You never know. I might be a threat to
ये
you
कर लो.
guys. No,
Why not? Why not? Why not?
I'm sharpening my guitar skills now.
Just
Yeah,
guitar skills.
maybe Mekaal can learn singing and switch.
Maybe our roles will be reversed, and
Absolutely.
you never know.
Absolutely. No, then I'll be singing and you'll be playing guitar. Is that it?
Yeah.
ओए होए. नहीं तो हुआ. Get
How would
it.
that be? But anyway, we missed Gino today.
Yeah.
Terrible band.
We
Papu
really-
साहब कह रहे हैं कि it'll be Mekaal Hasan terrible band if I'm singing it.
अरे पप्पू साहब मुझे सीखने तो दीजिए, पहले सुनिए ना मैं कैसे बजाती हूँ.
Yeah, maybe it'll work, yeah.
Maybe
Today,
it will work.
we need 1 minute
वो
clips.
जितना
That's
भी
all
हम
we need.
जितना भी हम करते रहे हैं उसके पूरे मीनिंग, उसकी स्टोरी लाइन वो आपको मैं क्लियर करता था. उसके बाद फिर वो मीनिंग के बाद
जी.
पोइट्री के जो लफ्ज हैं उनको क्लियर करते हैं.
And the very interesting part is Papu Saab, when he used to explain a Sufi poetry or something to me, he just didn't stick to the literal meaning of the word, the poetry. He would explain the entire context or kidhar se aata hai, if there was some spiritual or religious thing associated with him, because those were Sufi poetries. He would explain, because I am not very acquainted with those things. So that understanding becomes so wholesome. So when you go and when you sing, that's the reason I got very मुझे बड़ा शॉक ये हो गया. Then after even singing the band this thing, I used to, हम लोगों ने कितना डिस्कस किया है पप्पू साहब. मैं तो कुछ दिन पहले ही सोच रही थी कि आपको कॉल करके 2-3 गाने और, because the more you learn, the more you assimilate that and the style was something that the style in which Mekaal Hasan Band's compositions were made were a little different from what I had heard here. So it would take some understanding of how to approach the melodic approach to
Yeah, and that's
singing.
great, because I think, what you're saying is such an important thing, because when it comes to technical music, or rather music that is more complex and has a lot more going on, it's harder to have an interpretation of feel or soul feelings, right? So the thing is, the context of the content needs to be embedded, I would say, right? You have to imbibe that. So what that story that you're saying about the poems, if it's imbibed, then you just have to do the technical part, and it will naturally flow through with the feeling. People talk about so much of feeling, and it makes such a big thing out of it, and then they avoid playing anything technical, because they feel that if they play anything technical, it takes it away from the feel and it's more technical. But that's not true. It's just that you've not imbibed the soul concepts of the technical things as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a very good understanding and blending of both can sound very
Of course,
very
yeah.
nice. And when people appreciate those elements and they write to you, you know that it's not that there is no audience for this music. It's only about, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
reaching
it's
out.
not a
Yeah,
mainstream audience.
yeah, maybe
Mainstream
it's not
audience and
mainstream.
different people find different things in the music.
Hmm.
But
You know,
it's
like
funny, but
people who
this
are
whole,
used to listening to those songs.
but Mekaal, like this whole mass, what we call, this is mass music, right? I mean, I've had this conversation with some very great musicians, and I won't take names, but the thing is, like, I'll give you a stupid example. Like, we were playing a concert at, there was a Siddhi Vinayak festival, which is a temple in Bombay, and it's in Dadar. And Siddhi Vinayak is a proper temple, right? And they have a festival, so the music, the people that come are people visiting the temple, that culture of people. And so I'm like, we're doing kind of this fusion thing, or what is happening? And you won't believe, we played a jazz gig. We played a jazz gig with this artist called Gary Lawyer. And we were playing
I
songs
know.
like New York, All of Me. We were doing jazz standards. And I was like freaking out. I was like, what's going to happen here? These people have never heard this music or even remotely, subconsciously heard it also. It's, you know, and we played this gig, and you will not believe people tripped out. I mean, they were
Wow.
just completely in awe, and we didn't have to do anything, no gimmicks, nothing. We just played the standards like the way we would at NCP or any big theater, and the people are just loving it. So this whole concept of that this is mass music, or this people don't understand, these are all made up things
Yeah.
by advertisers, by product managers, and
Hmm.
we need to bypass this somehow. We need to
Hmm.
change that, because music is music. If it's good, it will resonate with anybody and everybody.
I
I
agree.
That's all.
agree.
Yeah.
I
I
also
think
agree.
the difficult thing is that I don't know. Okay, even if it is difficult music, well, you're not the one who has to play it. We have to play it. You just have to
Yeah,
listen to it. So I would
exactly.
understand a musician saying this is difficult. I would understand that. I mean, they don't know anything. If they're not exposed to it, agar exposure nahi hai, then
Yeah,
you're denying them the opportunity to decide.
exactly, because you're conditioning we condition them into believing that this is what is in, this is what is trending. So this
Yeah,
trending factor has kind of ruined a lot of things, because you've already been subconsciously conditioned to thinking that this music is good and this isn't, this is trending and this isn't. And then
yeah.
people want to be socially acceptable, so they choose what's trending.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
but if they just, without any judgment, sat and heard the music, I think they would enjoy everything that's good. Simply put.
This might be why 60s and 70s वो जो म्यूजिक लिखी गई थी बाहर भी और हमारे देश में भी, इंडिया पाकिस्तान दोनों जगह, बांग्लादेश,
Yeah,
वो म्यूजिक की क्वालिटी बहुत बेहतर थी because the
correct.
people who are listening were in touch with what was coming out, so they didn't have this oh this is this and this is difficult or this is
Yeah, and they were
complicated.
not conditioned by, see, social
कंडीशन
media
नहीं
or
थे,
things.
अब हो
Yeah, and
गए.
they're not being told what to like and not like. There was a
Right.
new record. They went to the store. They just bought the record. That's it, and they heard it and judged it
And
for themselves. Yeah,
So yeah, now opinions are also created by other people, and you join it. Like
it
you know,
is like
like
that.
you need to
Yeah.
be in the common. You
Yeah,
need to
today
resonate with
movies,
other
I
people.
mean, people judge movies. I mean, we watch these Marvel comics, or DC. I mean, there's so much of hard work in that film, and within one comment one guy has to just like kill the film, and it's gone and it's flopped. I mean, it's
yeah,
ridiculous, because I mean the hard work that's gone into it is a lot. So,
Yeah,
and it's not that bad, man. I mean, you got to just enjoy it yourself. And then, but people today have opinions and very easily can destroy great art. You have that power today. So I
yeah.
think it's something that you need to be responsible about also.
Oh, but also, I see the thing is, this people will say they have a right to, express. The thing is that right now there is a lot of reviewers who do reviews on music online. So sometimes I wonder what their credibility is? Is it just a lover of
Zero
music, or
credibility.
how are you
No,
technically?
but it does not matter. No, Sharmistha, see, it does not matter. The credibility, if any, is the other person who is reading the review. There's where the credibility is. That you should know that that is just one opinion.
Yeah,
And I am not going to be carried away by that opinion. I still have a mind of my own, and
yeah,
I can still listen to the music and say, no, but I don't agree with that opinion. Now, if you are not doing that, then you are just making somebody else, giving that credibility. Actually, that person is just their opinion. But
hmm.
by
Hmm.
accepting it blindly, that is the
Hmm.
problem with the society, I would
Hmm.
say.
Hmm. But do you think so? So regarding Mekaal Hasan Band's music, I felt that it's a lot of people like when they say progressive rock, or when we discuss, sometimes kind of say, is it too difficult for the listeners to? Although we know that there is a niche audience, but generally speaking, so but I feel that because the poetry, or the melodic content that we have with lyrics is very desi usually.
It's a full desi band.
It's a
It's a
full
desi
desi
band.
thing.
कोई इसमें ऐसी कोई complicated चीज नहीं
Huh.
है. बिल्कुल
Pitch
भी
it
नहीं.
against something which is very Western in its concept. I like from my end, I've never really heard progressive rock before I joined the band. But I felt that maybe these are two, three schools
I
who
mean,
have joined and found a common fun space and exploring. So if it's exciting for us to do that, it will be exciting for people to listen to. And that happens. I mean, remember when we play Ya Ali in the end,
हाँ,
everybody
हाँ.
just freaks. They just have a good time. Probably they don't understand what's happening, or they don't have the knowledge of the technicalities, but there is something that in the, and it's mostly an instrumental track. The melodic, like the Asthai Antra, is just very little, but
लेकिन
people
म्यूजिक
chip on it.
म्यूजिक एक फीलिंग है ना. एक मिल
हाँ,
के एक फीलिंग बनती है. पप्पू साहब जब बजाते हैं उसकी एक फील आती है. अगर शेल्डन कुछ प्ले करता है, इफ यू सिंग समथिंग, इट्स अ फीलिंग. एंड आई थिंक जब लोगों को लाइव सुनने का मौका मिलता है ना, that's where they become fans of something. And that's the difficult part, to get people to come and hear you live, and not just like he was
Yeah,
saying, some review or some critical thing. No, if they can hear it, I'm sure people will be captivated by it. It's the
yeah,
opportunity to be heard that's the hard part. And that's where
exactly.
we
exactly.
lose out, because we're not a pop band. We're, I don't know, it's
Yeah,
like
the
I have
stage
a
is
hard
not
time.
there.
Yeah, I have a hard time describing exactly what the band does, because we, on the one hand, we've got heavy tracks like Ya Ali, and then you've got Kinare. Like they're poles apart. But to me, music is music. जो गाना बता रहा है आपको, हर गाना, हर मेलोडी आपको कुछ बताती है कि इसकी सेटिंग क्या होनी चाहिए. And then it's up to you how to set it. There's no formula.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not
So
formula.
so now the question is, like, the interesting bit is how to take this music to people and get them out of their homes to come and enjoy it live. So
You have to be
because
able to play
until and
live.
unless you enjoy this thing live,
Yeah.
it's different energy altogether when you see.
Do you remember the first gig we did in Canada,
Yeah.
where there were like 400-500 people? Like that booking agent signed us on the basis of how that gig was. So, you know, just one gig can change things for people. There
Yeah.
might be a
Totally.
booker or a promoter or an organizer, they hear you and you're like, wow. They're like, ये तो हमने कभी सुना नहीं, we never heard this kind of stuff before. वो आपको वहाँ एक और opportunity मिल जाती. So getting the opportunity, being based in a place where you can have the opportunity, I think that really is, I think that's one of the things we kind of like lost out on. That
Yeah.
just as we were about to get the opportunities going, we had all kinds of various problems
Political.
happen, which none of us wanted. Like none of us wanted it, and
Yes,
there
I
was a
really
lot of
wish
hard
we could
work.
play in India, like a proper
शायद
band.
change हो जाए यार, देखो,
शायद
it's
change.
never,
Let's hope.
it'll change. I mean, because you see, here's the thing. I think people on both sides realize that it's just the politics. I think people are wiser than we give them credit. It is just, it's politics. It's not music. It's not art. It's not movies. It's not entertainment. And when the politics allow, then it'll change. So I think it will change in time. It may not happen as quick as we want it. but it will change. I hope so. होना
Hence, we
चाहिए
should
यार.
keep
और
making the music that
exactly,
we do.
like what else do we have to offer each other? Like सिर्फ प्याज और टमाटर ही import export करते रहेंगे, है ना?
True.
ये एक एक्चुअल
True,
चीज
man.
है. देखो, स्पोर्ट्स और म्यूजिक दो ऐसी चीजें हैं जो हम इजीली कर सकते हैं. कोई मसला ही नहीं है यार.
Yeah. But let's hope
Yeah,
that
no.
things open up, and wherever in the world. I mean, and
Yeah.
very rightly said, a lot of our Canada gigs were full house, and we
हाँ,
could see Indians and Pakistanis just
बिल्कुल कोई
and there
मसला ही
were
नहीं.
koi masla hi nahi tha, and they were all
कोई मसला
enjoying the
नहीं.
music and full house.
Shouldn't be a problem. Music is, it's not about ये मेरा ये तुम्हारा है. Like Sheldon
Exactly.
said, it's not about this is from this place and this is from this place. It's about like we get together, we make something happen, people enjoy.
Yeah, and the poetries also that we sing are basically uh,
Language,
kalams of
poetry,
the
the
kalams, Sufi
culture,
kalams, which
yeah,
talk
all of that stuff.
about love and peace and humanity and
Yeah,
all of that. So the messages are also very strong. Apart from
yeah.
the
I think that actually, that might be the very root of the problem. That it is something that is real and it is something that is there and that can be shared. That might be the problem. कि यार ये तो हो सकता है, let's not let it happen because someone has some political interest somewhere, you know. So, but the
Yeah,
fact
whenever
that
you're
we
trying to
did do
do
it,
good, yeah, when you're trying to do
yeah,
good, always there's something that's going to make it difficult.
yeah.
That's okay.
yeah,
But man, the fact that we did it is not a small achievement, really. It's the
Yeah.
only time it's happened,
I
really.
agree. I agree
So
fully. Yeah. So
hopefully
there
we'll do
there are
more,
things
man.
that we've already done, and hopefully we can do into the future. You never know what happens. We never knew that
Exactly.
pandemic would be something real. So if that can happen
Who would have
in a
thought?
negative way, a lot of good
Baki,
things can also happen.
Baki, who would have thought कि pandemic जैसी चीज would
Who would have thought?
completely stop
So
everywhere, everywhere.
yeah. So I think we should keep writing. We were writing
Yeah,
some music in during the pandemic also. I remember, and yeah, I hope you remember, Mekaal. We started doing some stuff
yeah.
during the
Yeah, I did record on some stuff, so I hope that's not been lost.
yeah.
नहीं, all your stuff is there. The mix files that were on my drive that crashed, so I lost
Yeah.
all the mixes, but I have to go back and redo it. So
So
that
let's
was a
hope that you can
huge stroke.
retrieve those and we can, have another album
Yeah, we have another
soon.
album. I just haven't been able to retrieve the data, and it's been lost for like a couple of years. So that's
Great.
been
So
a
let's work on that. And so, guys, it was great catching up. And as we said, we miss Gino, but
Yeah, we'll send in the
it
recording.
was great. And, you guys take care, all of you. Let's hope that we can do some real live music in future, and always
for
such a
sure.
pleasure
Inshallah,
singing
for sure.
MHB and catching up with all of you. So
Done.
Yeah, it's a
thanks for
pleasure.
joining, and thank you everybody who's
Thank you
joined.
guys.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
and
call it a
promote
night
live
today.
music, promote good musicians.
Yes, cheers to that, and cheers to MHB and all
Yeah,
of us. Okay, cool. So we'll see you guys
Take care.
virtually
soon.
soon again. Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye.